This is Mr. Bread, your teacher. I'm here with one of my students, Gingerbread. Today, Gingerbread and I are going to discuss the American Revolution. I am going to defend the British perspective, and Gingerbread is going to defend the American, the colonist point of view. The first thing we're going to discuss is the French and Indian War. This war was between the English and the French and the Indians. The English defeated the French and Indians in this war. What were they fighting over, Gingerbread?
The Ohio River Valley.
Very good, the Ohio River Valley. So after this defeat, the French had to leave this territory, which gave England a claim to the land to the Mississippi River. But American Indians were still there, and so the king decided to pass the Proclamation of 1763. This law said that colonists must not move west of the Appalachian Mountains, and I believe this was fair because the Indians were still there and the colonists went onto their land. There would be another war, and it was very expensive, the first war, the French-Indian War, so they didn't want that.
We just spent 7 years fighting for that land. Why can we not go there? We're gonna go there, whatever you guys say.
That's redonkulous, Gingerbread. You should obey the English laws. Anyway, we have to move on. The next one is the Quartering Act. So now the British soldiers remained in the colonies after the French and Indian War. Now these men fought bravely to protect the colonies against the French. I think it's only fair that the colonists should have to provide housing, meals, and transportation for the soldiers.
But why would we have to keep those soldiers in our houses? We don't want them there. Are you trying to spy on us?
That's ridiculous. They're not trying to control the colonists, Gingerbread. Moving on. The Stamp Act. The British position is that the colonists should help pay for the French-Indian War because it was partly for them. It was a very expensive war. $30 to $40 billion in modern-day money. The Stamp Act is a tax on printed papers. The money for the Stamp Act goes to pay for the war. I think that is only fair.
We don't care about the taxes, but taxation without representation, that is outrageous.
Just taxation without representation. That's all you complain about, Gingerbread. It's the King of England. He doesn't need to give you representation. Next topic. The Boston Massacre occurred when British soldiers fired into a crowd, killing colonists. But those colonists were not innocent. They were throwing rocks and stones, and they were cursing and throwing snowballs. I think it's the British fault that happened.
But you guys panicked, so in the first place, why? You guys aren't even supposed to do that in the first place. So.
What, because they're the best trained soldiers in the world?
Exactly.
Nobody's perfect, Gingerbread. And then Paul Revere and Sam Adams went and lied about it. They showed that picture all over Boston that made it look like a real massacre. That's cheating to get a revolution, Gingerbread.
Is it?
Well, I guess you think it's just okay to do that, huh?
Maybe.
I guess Ginger doesn't want to respond to this one. Next topic, Boston Tea Party. The colonists dumped the king's tea into the harbor, 90,000 pounds, just because he wants them to buy tea from one company. That's a lot of the king's property. It's a lot of money, Gingerbread. That's ridiculous.
But we don't want to have to just get tea from that East India Company. It was almost going bankrupt. Just let it fail.
Oh, Ginger. All right, the next topic is the Intolerable Acts, which is punishment for the Tea Party. And I believe the king rightfully closed the Boston Harbor as punishment. Those colonists destroyed thousands of dollars of his property.
But thousands of people went starving because no food could go in or out of the colony.
Ginger, you just got to accept that I'm right. The next thing is the First Continental Congress. So you colonists, you're all upset about the Intolerable Act. So you send most of your leaders to Philadelphia for a meeting, and you write a letter to the king asking him to change his ways. He doesn't have to change his ways. He's the king of England. He doesn't care about your letter.
We decided we'd stay loyal to you, but we just didn't like what you guys were doing. So we wrote a letter. We don't want to start a war.
Well, at least you were trying to be loyal and not going to war at this point. We know that war will follow soon. Ginger, that was a good discussion. I would say Mr. Bread won. What would you think?
No, I totally beat you.
Ginger. Well, we don't have much time, so I'm going to teach you to make a noise like a colonial donkey. Do this. Ee-haw! Ee-haw! Ee-haw!
Ee-haw, ee-haw, ee-haw.
Keep your day job, Ginger. What are you going to teach me to do?
I'll teach you how to whistle.
Okay, here it goes. That was pretty good, I thought.
No, you should try again.
We gotta go. Make sure you do your homework. Copy the dictionary. What do they need to do, Ginger?
Yeah, they should copy the dictionary.
Do it.